So Shannon, she brought this up. She wanted to talk about people reacting to Trump's Joe Biden's alleged tax plan, which
Yes.
plans on increasing taxes. I believe of those who make $400,000 and up.
$400,000 or more, which I've been seeing over social media, people complaining about this, and I'm just like, why are you complaining? Because I know that you don't make that much money. So, I know that 50 Cent said the other day that he would leave the country if Trump loses the election, and I'm pretty sure not a lot, but I'm pretty sure a good amount of people in the 1% feel this way because they don't want their money to be taxed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of in a half and half thing where it's like, I understand why they're upset, but I also don't care that they're upset. So if I was in the top 1% making millions of dollars a year and I found out that my income was going to get taxed 62%, which is a lot, I would probably be upset about that. But me being in the middle class, I don't care that these 1% people are sad or mad that their income is going to get taxed when the middle class has been getting taxed and we've been sparing the 1% all this time. So I don't really care. But I just don't understand.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now you made me lose my train of thought. What were you going to say?
No, I was saying, so you're not upset that the people in the 1% are complaining because you kind of expect it. Is their money being taxed? They're going to complain and probably vote for Trump. You're saying that you don't understand why people who are middle and lower class are complaining about the tax increase.
I'm saying that, yes, that one. And two, also, I just think the 1% is being very selfish. And I don't care that they're upset. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion.
I understand what you're saying. Here's a possible rebuttal. Mm-hmm. And for those of you listening to the podcast right now, I want to apologize for this garbage truck that you hear in the background.
I don't hear anything. You're good.
No, it's always like that. Even when you say the same thing, I can't hear it because the Zoom has a built-in buffer. But remember, I'm recording like
my garage,
yeah, so they can hear it. So here's what I would say though. Sometimes people who are lower middle class, poor even, they complain about increases in taxes for a couple of reasons. Number one, Mike told me this about myself one time, and I have to admit he was right. That for a lot of us, we buy into the American dream. Mm-hmm. We all think that we have this shot at being a millionaire or something. And so we don't want to be taxed when we get rich. So no, it's true. Mm-hmm. It's an incredible thing that this country has done. It has deluded us into thinking that most of us are going to be millionaires. The overwhelming majority of you watching this video or listening right now, you are never going to sniff making $1 million.
That's not going to happen. It's probably very true. It's true.
No,
I agree.
It is true. Mm-hmm. It's not even close. Less than 10% of you, and it's probably smaller than that, will ever make $1 million in 1 year. Now, you might be able to make $1 million in a lifetime, but $1 million in a year, not going to happen for the overwhelming majority of you. So that's one reason why they complain, Shannon. Second reason why they complain, and this one is kind of valid. Usually when Democrats run on raising taxes for the rich, they mean it. Mm-hmm. But they go on to raise taxes on the middle class once they're in office, right? Mm-hmm. Because you can't pay for any of these programs by taxing the rich for a couple of reasons. Number one, rich people can just leave. Number two, rich people can write off a bunch of shit, as deductibles when they do the taxes, pay themselves through corporations that aren't taxed, various loopholes. And so Democratic presidents, governors, and mayors, they still have to pay for things, and so they raise taxes on the middle class. And so for some people, they're looking at Joe Biden's plans, and they're looking at what he's saying he's going to tax the rich to pay for it. They do the math, and they realize there's no way he can pay for all of this stuff by just taxing people who make over $400,000. Mm-hmm. So he's lying, which means when he gets in there, he's probably going to raise my taxes, and he might raise my taxes at a similar rate to these rich people. Now, I don't think that's the case, but that's a second reason why. And the third reason why, Shannon, some people just view taking half of anybody's income as immoral.
More than that, but that's what I'm saying. I understand kind of why the upper 1% is mad, because 62%, taxing 60%,
that's insane.
Taxing 62% of your income is insane. That's a large That's so much money. I would be mad too. But
no, I'm just explaining why somebody
Yeah.
who is not going to be taxed that they could be opposed to it just from like a moral perspective.
Yeah.
It's not happening to them, but they morally feel like, you know, taking half of somebody's income, I don't care who it is in and of itself unethical.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I
So
understand that. I understand that. But if Joe Biden is in fact, if he theoretically, if he was able to just tax the rich and not tax the middle class at all, then I wouldn't care. You guys can get taxed 62% of your income. Better you than me, because
but aren't
again,
you
you
worried
have
about that
more
though?
money than me. Huh?
But aren't you worried because there is a flaw that I think liberals don't think about when you build your country on the backs of taxing rich people? Meaning, what happens if you don't have any more rich people? Like, that's what's happening in New York City right now.
I mean, that's true, because everyone's leaving. Yes.
Yeah. And so now what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, people think taxing the rich is like the end all be all. But what happens when there are no rich people to tax? Once again,
That's
rich
true.
people don't have to stay in America. Like, I keep thinking they do. They don't have to. And so what happens when you implement these tax policies, but then there's no rich people to tax?
Yeah, that's true.
Now what are you going to do?
That's also a problem. I didn't even think about that, but yes.
See, I'm not against more taxes, depending on what I get out of it. I will sign up to pay like an extra. For example, let's say in New York City they wanted to increase sales tax, so like, you know, you pay like an extra, I don't know, 5 cents on everything, right? But you get like statewide universal health care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a tax that I'm willing to put up with.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to put up with it if they increased it by, you know, you're gonna pay extra 10 cents or more payroll tax. And so to me, I'm not against increased taxes necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like it to be for stuff that I actually think is doing society a favor.
Yeah.
And oftentimes I find that when we get taxed, it's for the military or it's for something else.
Yeah.
It's never for things that I actually would want to be taxed more for.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think people are against taxes. I think people are against their taxes being wasted. I think if you ask a lot of people, hey, would you mind getting taxed, you know, an extra, you know, $100, but when you go to the doctor, you never have to pay anything out of pocket.
Yeah.
You never. I think a lot of people will say, oh, yeah.
Constructive and beneficial programs that benefit a majority of the Americans. Yes.
Yeah, so totally agree.
And that is how you would pay for schools to have therapists.